Hey, you are tuned in live to Simply Real. This is Kat here. And it looks like we're missing someone. Danielle couldn't be here today, unfortunately. So it looks like you're going to have to deal with me. Yay, right? 1 full hour of me in my magenta Lacoste shirt. Okay. All right. So shout outs to BMW of Freeport. Make sure you get your BMW from Alvin Peters and get the ultimate driving machine. Vroom, vroom. I know I like a good BMW. What colors do I like? I like red cars and I like white cars. All right. Maybe a white leather interior as well. Okay. Yeah. So keep that in mind. If you ever want to get me a gift because you love watching me so much, that's what I like. I'll take it with a very a girly engine. I don't want one of those engines that go too fast. I'm not trying to get into another accident. Oh, did I say another one? Okay, forget it. All right, anyway, so I have some relationship topics for you tonight. Maybe, hopefully it's something that you can relate to, right? Yay, okay. All right. So I've got some good stuff for you. I don't have anyone to bounce it off of. My mic here is a little bit empty. But, it's whatever. We keep the show going. Even though things happen to you, things happen to me, we still keep the show going, right? Because that's how we keep it simply real, right? Let me just fix my hair a little bit. All right, that's better. Good. Okay, so my first question to you and to anybody else that wants to answer is, how do you know when a relationship is going well? How do you know? I mean, is it something that, you just feel, or is it something that somebody has to tell you? Because a lot of times, when you're in a relationship, you talk to other people about it and you get opinions on it and, they give you their opinions. But, how do you know that it's going well? Do you trust yourself or do you trust what other people tell you? That's a good question. Well, here's how I know. You ever heard the saying that the eyes are the window to the soul? Oh, hold up. We got a caller. Pause on that. Hi, thanks for calling Simply Real.
Hello, how are you? Thank you for having me as a caller on Simply Real. I'm a big fan of your show.
Yeah, state your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Brian. I'm calling from Reality TV, previous show. How are you?
Oh my gosh. Hi, how are you? I love your show. You guys are so funny, but you know what? I feel guilty laughing at you. So I have to, it's like a secret laugh. I have to hide it. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. But hi, how are you?
Good. I wanted to comment on your relationship topic. I've been in a committed relationship now almost 4 years. Me and my girlfriend were getting to a level of I'm saving up for a ring actually, and I feel I have a very great relationship right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a key is just for us, it's trust and just knowing that we believe in each other, we love each other, and she lets me do whatever I want to do. I let her do whatever she wants to do, because at the end of the day, we both come back to each other, and I think that's the key: trust and just being there for each other.
I absolutely agree with that. Trust is, and thank you for calling. Yeah, and trust is such a big thing in relationships, because you don't want to be in a relationship where you're second guessing the person, because that's no fun. Like, what's the point? You're either in it or you're out of it. I didn't hang up on you already?
No, you didn't.
I meant to hang up on you. Okay, there it goes. All right, goodbye. Sorry, whatever. All right, but my point is, trust is a huge thing. Like, if you're not with someone that you trust, there's really no point. So, definitely make sure that you can trust that person. And that's something that, goes with your gut instinct. And I probably say this in every show, but you know what? I'm going to say it again. I date with my instincts. If I'm feeling something in my gut, then I'm feeling it. And if I'm not, then there's a problem. There's something that we have to talk about, right? But we don't want to talk about problems today. But we want to go back to our topic. How do you know when a relationship is going well? Here's the cheesiest thing I'm ever going to say in my life, but I'm going to say it right now. A lot of times you could tell a relationship is going well by the look in someone's eyes. Like I mentioned before, you can tell the eyes are the window to the soul. Have you heard that before? Yeah. I know you've heard it before because it's one of those lines that's so cliche, so cheesy, just like me. But anyway, no, you didn't hear that. But anyway, yeah, when someone's like looking into your eyes and it feels like they're looking into your soul, like that what they're saying is something that they mean. So that's one of the things. And another thing is, maybe you've been dating for a while and they ask to be exclusive. Because, that doesn't happen too much in these days, especially, dating in New York City. A lot of times, people are dating, maybe they think things are going well, but maybe it's 3 months in and they still don't have a title, which is kind of a red flag, like a big waving red flag, because it's like, how do you not have a title? Like, it's like, what, you don't like me? Or you don't like him? Something is going on where someone doesn't like someone. There's something missing if, the person's not asking to be exclusive. Another way is, if the person makes time for you. I mean, and I think that this is common sense. If someone that you're dating is always busy and they're doing their own thing and they're not inviting you to these own things that they're doing, then maybe it's not going as well as you think. And the key days are Fridays and Saturdays. So if you are, hanging out Friday and Saturday, maybe you have a good thing going, right? Not just one day a week. You don't want to be that Tuesday individual. Right? So that's another way. And another thing is dates are planned. You always want someone to anticipate you. And that's, that's a big word that I use a lot is anticipation. You want to be anticipated. But what does that mean? What's it mean to be anticipated? It means to be thought of in advance and planned for in advance, right? You don't want to be that person who is always looking at the Time Out New York and trying to find the cool things to do in New York, so that you can do something on a Friday or a Saturday night at a bar or a club that's already booked up, right? You want to be anticipated for. I know I do. Let me fix my hair a little bit. I gotta fix my hair, I'm the only one here. Things have to look right. What are you doing? Can you sit in your chair, please? Thank you. Making me really nervous. All right. So this is a big deal for a lot of the shy guys out here. So, raise your hand if you're a shy guy. All right. I got one hand raised. Okay, I'll take it. But how do you know if you are friend zoned? Wait, I have actually. This question just came to me. If you're a girl, how do you know? Can a girl get friend zoned? Really? I thought this was just something that applied to guys.
I don't know. I think guys always will leave the door open for a little, a little something.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So I don't think a girl.
Yeah, no, I think a girl
could get friend zone. I've never heard of this.
A girl could definitely put a guy in a friend zone and keep him there. But a guy, I think, depending on his situation, I think he's always you can't trust him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think because guys, it's hard to be friends with a girl.
Really?
Yeah, really.
I don't believe that.
Okay, yeah. So you hang out with your guy friend on the couch and you watch a movie and nothing.
No,
happens.
that's a little extra.
Well, then
on a couch.
Friends. Well, you're friends. You can't watch a movie on a couch.
Nah, I'm not gonna be hanging with my guy friends on a couch. That's a little bit much. Maybe at a bar with like a whole bunch of other people, but not on a couch.
But then is that really a friend though? That's just kind of
Yeah, that's a friend. Like we're at a bar, we're gonna drink, we're talking some smack. Yeah, that's a friend.
Okay.
That's a friend.
All right.
I mean, on a couch, that's like a little bit more intimate.
Okay, so you have to avoid couches and beds and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
I mean, unless this is a guy friend that you're attracted to.
Well, if you're both truly friends, then what the difference does it matter where you are?
I don't know, but I always think that, guys.
When they're on a couch.
No, when they're friends with someone, chances are, usually, a lot of times, I'm saying 100% of the time, but a lot of times there's like some sort of initial attraction, and then somehow they get friend zoned.
So as a girl, you need to keep your guy friends off the couches, but a guy, he will always be willing to have one of his girlfriends on the couch.
Well, probably, but
So,
here's the thing that a lot of people don't realize: women control everything in relationships.
Definitely.
Right?
I
So,
realize that.
women control whether the guy becomes a friend. Women control whether the guy becomes a boyfriend. We control that.
Yeah.
We set the boundaries.
Most
And if we're not setting the boundaries, then, there's a problem in the relationship. There's something wrong. Like the guy is maybe too aggressive.
Girls have much more willpower. They just know what's the line to cross. Yeah, they know.
And it has to do, it's a vibe thing. Sometimes, you're with the guy, even if he's good looking, he could still just be, okay, you're a friend because of the vibe that he's giving off. But I mean, I can't speak for guys because I don't know how it is.
No, I'm saying, I'm not speaking for all guys. I'm sure there are guys who can, just strictly be friends. But I think guys, human nature, like you said, depending on the environment, all of a sudden.
Right. But here's one of the signs that a girl is friend zoning you. One of the signs is a lack of availability. If you want to get together and the girl is busy, chances are she's friend zoning you. She don't want to hang out with you.
When she never wants to sit on the couch.
When she never wants to sit on a couch.
What?
No, when
you're like,
she's...
man, this girl just never wants to sit on the couch.
Because
you're in the friend zone, dude.
It has more to do with, I don't want to go on a date with you. I'll go on a date with you when I have the time. You know what I mean? Like if my availability is closed, then you're a friend. I'll catch up with you when I want to. Another thing is no kissing, no touching. If the woman is not initiating those types of activities, then she's not really into you that way. Sorry. Find someone who is. She's not. Another thing is. With my guy friends, I catch myself saying things like, you remind me of my brother.
Ooh.
Like, oh, you're a Virgo. My brother's a Virgo. That's why you remind me of my brother. Which I think is, I think the world of my brother. So I think that's a very high and mighty compliment.
But it could, but it could also, you could also take it the other way.
I don't care. My brother's awesome. My brothers are awesome. So, if I'm saying that to you, then that's a huge compliment.
Is it a compliment as a friend or a compliment for possibly more?
Absolutely a compliment as a friend.
Okay.
That should be a high honor as well.
Oh, yeah. I gotcha.
Because
that should, tell you.
I don't throw that word around loosely. So I have two words that I use. I have friend, and then I have associate. A friend is someone, that I talk to on a regular basis. You got my back. You're going to come to my birthday parties, that kind of stuff. An associate is more of like networking purposes. Like, hey, someone who could get me this job. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So there's two different things. So if you're a friend, you remind me of my brother. That's great. I love my brother. My brother's plural, right? So that's how you know if you're friend zoned. And girls, I don't know. Okay. I can't speak, from a man's point of view if you know that you're friend zoned. I don't know. So, because it's usually the girls that are doing the friend zoning because we control everything. Sorry. That's just how it works. Another, topic I wanted to talk about is, actually, let's pause on this for a second. Just for a second. I want to get into some celebrity gossip just for a little bit. No, I want to talk about something that's been on my mind because it's something that I mention quite often. And it was funny seeing this in the news because this is something that I think about. And then this is something that I practice every day. I know you're like, what the hell is she talking about? But I'm about to show you. Can you show the picture of Tamar Braxton?
Which one's that? The first one?
Yes.
Okay.
Duh.
Blonde hair threw me off.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know who this is Tamar Braxton. Now, who is Tamar Braxton? All right, she's Toni Braxton's, I guess, younger sister, right? So she's on a show called The Real. Well, was on a show. But she got kicked off. Now, why did she get kicked off, you ask? She got kicked off for being too ghetto. What does that even mean, right? All right, so they did a focus group. Now, if you're not familiar with a focus group is, a study with a bunch of people. It's kind of like a little sociological experiment where they ask people questions, then they get statistics. And they realized that most of the educated working women who watch this show, The Real, can't relate to the vernacular that she's using. They just don't get it. It's too ghetto. All right, but let me tell you what some of the vernacular is. She says things like, get your life, where they do that at, and have several seats. And this is stuff that I say, actually. But here's the difference. I know how to switch it up. There's a way that you talk at work, and then there's a way that you talk when you're with your friends. I think, who's that singer? Are you familiar with Music Soul Child? All right, so I remember he has this line in some song that he has from like back in the day, and he's talking about a girl that he likes. And one of the things that he mentions in the song, because he likes her so much, he mentions that she switches it up from corporate to ghetto. I was like, okay, that's just a weird lyric. You know what I mean? That's a weird thing to say. You switch it up from corporate to ghetto. So I guess, Tamar Braxton, wasn't doing this because she wasn't switching it up from corporate to ghetto. She was just keeping it ghetto the whole time. Get your life. What does that even mean? Get your life.
Is that like a new version of Get a Life?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's like, get it together, like get your life together, get your life. Yeah. I like it. It's something that I would say because, it's straightforward and I like it. I would say that. Another thing is have several seats. Have you heard this before?
No, I don't get that.
See, you're the person they're talking about. That doesn't get
I don't even watch daytime TV, but no, I don't. Yeah, I don't get it. What's up with that?
Have several seats is me. It's like, have you ever heard someone say oh, just sit down? You're like, you don't know what you're talking about. Just sit down. Like, go away.
So I got not only sit down once, I got to take up a bunch of seats.
Exactly.
So that's like
that
really
means you really need
really
to have
sit down.
Not just one seat, have several seats.
Okay, well, I'll be aware of that in the future if somebody tells you that.
Yeah, so I mean, this is vernacular that's maybe prevalent in a certain subculture, but it doesn't appeal to the mass audience. So that's why they are taking her off The Real. Boo-hoo. Which I think is ridiculous. I think people need to keep up to date with what people are saying because I understand all of this vernacular. I don't know, maybe I'm weird. But anyway, so Tamar Braxton is getting kicked off The Real. Oh, well. In other celebrity news, we have Derek Fisher. Now, who is Derek Fisher, you ask? He is apparently the Knicks coach, and he is dating Gloria Gavan, who I've met, and she's really sweet. Actually, when I met her at a fashion show, and she was wondering who the hell I was. She's like, who are you? I was like, oh, I'm just Katherine. I guess she thought I was going to be on like some reality show or something. I was like, no, I wish.
Is that her on the left too?
Hell no.
No, I was going to say, because...
No, Gloria Gavan has the, is with Derek Fisher.
All right, and who's on the left there?
That's his wife that he's leaving her for. And she, I can see why. She looks tore up.
Yeah, but you know what? It's not all about looks. I mean, that's not nice to say. Oh, God,
Oh, absolutely. No. It's not all about looks.
Yeah.
But you have to keep yourself up.
Yeah, well, you know what? Her hairline is going back. I mean, these are not things that people wish on themselves. They happen. And if you know, that's sad. If it's just that, I hope there's more to that than just because she doesn't like the way she looks anymore.
Yeah. And not liking the way you look definitely ties into your personality. Because, you're going to be angry. And then you're going to take all that anger out on everybody else because you are not happy with yourself. It's all linked in. I mean, this is why people get plastic surgery in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm a huge advocate of plastic surgery, especially if you need it. If you need it, get it. We don't judge. I don't judge.
But you know what? Some people they do too much though. They go.
Yeah, and that's when it becomes a mental problem.
Yeah.
That's where you get these people that have like cat faces. I remember I used to work at a gym and I had this woman. You're probably familiar with her. Do you know who Amanda Lepore is?
Sounds familiar, but I'm not sure.
All right. So if you Googled her face, you would know her face. She used to be a man, but then she like changed herself into a woman. I mean, everything is plastic. Everything is fake. When you look at her, it's like she's one of those people that you just can't help but stare at because, she just looks so bloated, because, everything is exaggerated. But, she's a huge, transgender model and she makes a lot of money. She makes a lot of money, So she's making it work for her. He, she, whatever you want to call it, making it work for her. I'm an advocate of plastic surgery if you need it. A lot of people need it. Especially if you're a celebrity, you need it. Because you're in the public eye, people are looking at you, you have to look a certain way. So that's when it's definitely acceptable. So yeah, go plastic surgery, whatever. I don't care. Right? All right, so I want to get back to something that I mentioned on a previous show. I feel like I didn't get to really dive into it, and I have some other opinions on it. It's do you remember when I talked about Groupons on dates?
Yeah. That was an early show.
I know. I feel like I didn't get to say enough about it. It was just, I mentioned it, and then maybe like a caller came in or something, and I couldn't talk too much about it. But I think there should be something done about that to make it a little bit easier. Especially on the guys, since it seems to be an economical thing. Because who doesn't want a good deal, on a date? I mean, what if this is someone that, you just started dating, you don't want to spend too much money on, right? And you want to do a Groupon. Maybe there should be like a some sort of special, Groupon elite service that they should have so that, to make it more secret, when you're using the Groupon. What do you think about that?
I think if you're meeting a girl for the very first time, I think it's a waste to go out to dinner.
Why?
Because it's a waste.
But how are you going to get to know them?
So you have a cup of coffee and you sit down somewhere at a lounge and you talk and you have good conversation and you spend $15, $20. But to go and spend $50, $60, be a quarter of the way through the meal and realize you don't ever want to see this girl again is ridiculous. That's my opinion. Have a cup of coffee. If things click, then the next day you go out and you spend whatever you spend, no problems asked. You know the person. It's you're willing to do it. But I've been through that shit before, and I've taken girls out, and 10 minutes through the meal, I'm like, what the hell did I just do right now? Not only do I have to sit here and eat another 2 courses, I gotta pay $60 for this shit, and I know I'm not gonna see this girl ever again. It's a waste.
But what if you're with like a really great girl and she's looking at you sideways? She's looking at you funny, like, why the heck are you taking me out for Starbucks when you should be buying me a dinner?
I should be buying you a dinner? I don't even know you. I just met you. We just literally met. If you're talking about somebody that you've been talking to over quite some time, that's fine. But if you're going on blind dates or you're meeting somebody on Match or something like that, that's bullshit. Go get a cup of coffee, talk, take a walk in the park, If things click, then you go out for dinner, you spend your money, and it's all good. But I just don't.
Right.
Go for it.
So the coffee is like a test run, right?
It's just it's only fair. Just have some conversation. Get to know each other. Have a cup of coffee, tea, hot chocolate, little Danish, whatever.
Okay.
The meal is bullshit. 2 hours, excuse my language, but 2 hours sitting there. You're eating half the time. You're not even going to be able to talk because you're putting down chicken cutlets and everything. It doesn't make any sense to me. That's just my opinion.
I guess.
You know.
Just look. Just buy dinner, okay? All right. That's the bottom line. Just buy dinner and shut the hell up.
Don't listen to me, guys. Do what you want.
But Groupon, I think there's got to be a more secret way for men to use Groupon on dates because of what we just talked about. Like, you don't want to be taking people to coffee. It's not a good look. It makes you look like you're broke or something. You know, like, oh, I can't afford a dinner. I'm just going to take you to coffee. I hope you like chai tea latte, tall, grande. Venti.
That's cool because I don't really want to hang out with a girl that thinks like that.
You know what? I'm done with you. No. But anyway,
this is your show. Do your thing.
No, anyway, there's got to be a way to get, a more. Let me see. What word do I like? Clandestine. Groupon. Like maybe you could show it on your phone. Maybe you could call in advance, so that the waitress already knows that this is what you're working with when you come in. You shouldn't have to like show your phone or pull out a piece of paper. 'Cause that's just tacky. It's tacky. I don't want to see that.
I think it's going to be tacky no matter what. Either you buy the meal or you don't.
No, there's got to be a secret way to do it,
A secret way?
They have to think about this, That's just my opinion, because Groupons on dates, they're just, I don't know. I mean, even though you're out on a date, it's just a no-go. It's a no, all right? So I got everything out, about that. But anyway, so how about some, say the relationship goes well, say, the Groupon goes, the Groupon date goes well, coffee, Starbucks date goes well, whatever you want to call it, okay? So how, and you're in a relationship with this person, you like them. So how do you keep the relationship healthy? First you have to decide in your head, what is a healthy relationship? We mentioned earlier that trust, is part of a healthy relationship. But have you heard, what is this, like a book from the 90s? Like, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, that's like a classic. I never read
classic,
it. Yeah,
right?
that's old, yeah.
That's really old. Yeah, I heard it in Clueless. I mean, I never... You know the movie?
I love that movie.
Yeah, she mentions it.
That's like the only like those types of movies, but for some reason, I don't know, I just love that movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie too. What's the other one? I think it was from the same producers, The Night at the Roxbury.
Oh,
did you see that? Oh, I love that movie.
I don't know. I think I saw it, but I don't know.
You got to see. That's a good one. Oh my gosh, that'll have you laughing. I'm like, these guys are such losers. But anyway, so the whole point of that is, the men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Is men think differently than women. There's always that common misconception that women are more emotional and men are more like grounded and factual or whatever. I mean, I could argue that. I think both can be very emotional, given the situation, because a lot of times, men hold their emotions in. So when given the right opportunity, those emotions will come out, and another thing to keep relationships healthy is to when you're dating someone, like you're gonna get angry about something is going to piss you off. Nothing's ever going to be like a smooth, steady road. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. You're gonna get angry. So my thing is, don't hold grudges, because if you're holding grudges, that's just not here's the key word, healthy. It's not healthy. Just let it go. Do a punch it out. Do some kickboxing, like just let it go. It's not worth being angry over. Another thing is, you have to kind of, a lot of times people depend on their partner for their happiness. I'm like, oh, I'm dating this man, he's going to make me happy. Or I'm dating this woman, she's going to make me happy. No, not necessarily. You have to be happy before you start dating your significant other. So, you have to take ownership of your own happiness, because no person is going to make you happy. You have to do it on your own. It's not your partner's job to make you feel good about yourself, even though it helps. You don't want to be dating someone that makes you feel bad about yourself. Then what's the point? The whole point of dating someone is to have that person make you feel good about yourself. And
each one of you makes the other person feel good, and you got it made.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's the attraction. You want to be around, the positive energy. You don't want to be around someone who's like constantly saying, telling you why you're inadequate, why you suck. What the hell is that? Get out of here.
Doesn't help the relationship.
No, it doesn't. And then it just makes you, what did I go back to one of my second points? It makes you angry. And it keeps making you angry and angry and angry. Oh, get out of here. I don't want to be angry. I want to be happy. This is the happy club, right? Right?
Right.
Happy club. Okay. All right. I want to go back to my celebrity gossip. All right. Can we show... We talked about... Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh. I love her.
I don't know who this is, but she's beautiful.
Yes, this is Zendaya. She's on the Disney Channel. Now, the Billboard Awards was this past Sunday, and this is what she wore. She's very beautiful. I think she's like in her early 20s. She's on the Disney Channel. So she's like kind of like Miley Cyrus kind of thing, but a little bit younger. She had her own TV show. I think she's singing and acting now. She's doing her thing. So she's rocking like that nude getup or whatever she's wearing, and she looks really classy. The thing about celebrities, they always know how to pose. She's got her arm on her hip.
What's crazy is like at the time they're taking pictures, there's like a dozen cameras going off in each direction, and yet you always see good pictures of them.
It's like how do they know where to look?
Why do you not see the really busted up ones where they're not even looking directly and their eyes are cross-eyed and shit? Like every picture.
Right.
It's amazing.
I know. It's like I think they're trained to focus on something.
They know exactly
where to look. And they
just
focus on that one thing.
They know where to look. I don't get it.
They do. Maybe it's just like, just stare off into space and you'll be good. You'll take a perfect picture. I know Paris Hilton took, she had someone train her on how to take pictures. That's why all of her pictures look very similar. She's got the hand thing going. And another one is Victoria Beckham. She always has her hand like high up, so that she looks thinner. So yeah, go Victoria Beckham. So I have something different I want to get into. I want to talk about a current event. Well, not really. This is more like an opinion piece, but I found it to be very relevant and very interesting. So I'm going to talk about it, okay? And you're going to listen to it. All right, so I read this today in the paper, and it's called Why Millennials Are Stuck in Their Parents' Basement. Now, if you aren't familiar with what a millennial is, I'll tell you. It's someone who was born between 1980 and 1995. So it's like that bracket. All the people who are young adults and kind of working right now, maybe in their mid to late 20s, early 30s, whatever. That is a millennial, in case you were misunderstood. We're known to be very lazy. I don't know about that. I don't know where that came from. Also known to be very good with technology, right? We're the first generation that's actually teaching our parents stuff, when before it was the other way around. The parents were teaching the kids stuff, but we're the ones who are teaching our parents how to text message, how to send emails, all of that stuff, right? So we're awesome. Millennials are awesome. All right, so, millennials have been called the mom's basement generation because, we're taking so long, well, some of us are taking really long to move out of mom's house. It's very common to come across someone who's in their late 20s, early 30s, and still living at home, not paying any rent, but working professional, but still living at home. Have you heard this?
I know that a lot of people are living back with their parents because a lot of divorced people, men and women that were married for years, are back with their parents at like 40, 50 years old. Mm-hmm. Not only the young kids, there's a lot of people back with their parents or not leaving their parents. I don't know. I don't think there's enough work out there. There's just the opportunities are not there. I don't know.
The opportunities are there. No, you know what it is? I think, a lot of us graduated in that time when the economy was kind of crappy, like 2008, 2009. It was, very difficult to find employment, as opposed to like, the late 90s when everything was great and everyone had a job, right? So it was a little bit harder to start your career in 2008, and 2009 when the economy just wasn't there. It wasn't where it was supposed to be. And a lot of us decided to go to college and study these majors that don't mean anything. I came across someone a couple of years ago. He majored in philosophy. What does that even mean? What does that mean? What are you supposed to do with that? Philosophy? You sit around and think?
Choose the wrong field, you get screwed.
Yeah.
You got to choose the right field.
Yeah.
So the field that he chose, there's no opportunities for that right now.
And our parents are baby boomers, and they're the ones who are, very ideal, and they told us, look, do what you love, right? That do what you love turns into, okay, well, I'm going to go to college, and I'm going to study what I love. I love philosophy, so I'm going to major in philosophy. It's 2008, it's 2009, I graduate. What am I going to do with a BA in philosophy? I don't know, right?
I never thought
You're going
of
to teaching,
Yeah, no, I never thought of it that way. Your parents tell you, do what you love, you know?
But
then again, you do what you love, and technically what you love to do may not be a viable career.
Right.
That's tricky there.
No, I know, I've heard stories about people, who get phone calls, and, the phone calls are people calling them and telling them, hey, I want to pursue a career in acting. We'll get back to that. We have a caller. Simply Real here. State your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Dimitri. I'm calling from Brooklyn.
What's up, Dimitri from Brooklyn? What's going on?
Not much. I was just thinking about the sports, what's going on in sports. And I don't know if you're a basketball fan or not.
Yeah,
you watch basketball?
I've been hearing a lot about it, but what's going on?
So the idea is that you have this amazing team called the Golden State Warriors, and they're just incredible. Like, they won the most games of any single team in NBA history in the regular season. They won like 73 games, and they're just like lock to pretty much win a championship. Mm-hmm. And they've had this amazing season, but now they are down 3-1 against this team called Oklahoma City Thunder, who people didn't expect to be that big of a challenge for the Warriors. And so, like, I've been following this, and it's amazing because this could be the biggest upset, or at least one of like the 2 or 3 biggest upsets in sports history.
Right. How do you feel about that?
Honestly, it's amazing to be a part of that, to sort of watch an underdog, like, beat somebody who people think that they couldn't beat. It's like reflective of a lot of things, I think, like in life in general, which is why people, I think, dig sports so much, because it reflects that, is that, you can be an underdog and have, the odds against you and still surpass. And this team, like the Thunder, they're up 3 games to 1, which means that Thunder got to win only one more game. So I love the way it makes you feel, because like that's why people root for underdogs. It's, we hope it's a reflection of like our own kind of life.
Exactly.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't. Maybe. I mean, like, do you follow sports in general?
Sometimes, only when people talk about them.
Yeah, but you don't just like go and like follow like you have a favorite team. I mean, you're from New York. Did you root for like the
look? I love
Mets,
I love the Yankees. Okay, I'm a huge
Yeah.
Yankees fan. You know,
Okay.
I love Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter retired. You know, like I don't even know who I'm gonna love anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, like, why are they such a big part of your life? I mean, did you ever like want to root for the Mets?
You know what? That's a good question because I've always kind of hated the Mets.
Okay, why? Why? What is this New Yorker thing?
You know what it
Yorkers
is. You know the Mets. The Mets are more like kind of like you said. They're more like the underdog. You know they haven't won as many championships. So you feel more safe like being a Yankees fan, especially in the late '90s, early 2000s.
Oh, God,
when they were killing it.
But like I mean, you had Joe Torre. You had like these amazing like aces.
Absolutely.
You had Mariano Rivera, who's probably the greatest closer of all time, and you guys just kept churning it out. Like I didn't even grow up in New York, and so what happened is that like I used to like read about these Yankees. I mean, and the Yankee brand. I mean, it's known throughout the world. I mean, think of how many people can tell you about the Milwaukee Brewers, say like Brazil, but they'll probably have heard the Yankees at some point. They're just like that big of a team.
Exactly.
So I don't know. I think I don't know. I don't have a team picked out. I think but it's really great to like watch it because I mean these guys mean a lot. Like this is a big part of like our lives, especially when we were kids, adolescents, like in just regular adulthood. We ended up like rooting for these teams.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. And you bring up a good point. Thanks for calling. Okay, so you know what rooting for the underdog, which is something I definitely don't do. Because, I like to win. And, I like teams that win as well. Which is why, I mean, I don't really follow sports too much anymore. But when I did, I liked the Yankees because they used to win. I don't think they've been winning anymore, which is probably why I don't follow them anymore. But, it's always exciting to. Absolutely. If you're winning, I like you. Otherwise, what's the point? What's the point? It's not fun. Like I'm gonna sit there, it's heartbreaking. Like why am I gonna sit there and watch my team lose? I'm rooting for them. I came out for them. I bought the ticket and everything. And they're gonna lose? Really? How dare you? I'm going home. No, seriously, I used to be really heartbroken. That's why I don't really follow sports anymore.
Yeah, honestly,
it's emotional.
It is emotional.
It is.
I'm a huge hockey fan. I love the New York Islanders, and they've been the past 10 years they've been rebuilding, and it has been so frustrating that I literally 2 years ago I just stopped. I stopped.
Yeah.
Because it's just not worth it.
I mean, I'm not sure what the psychology is behind that, but you get really emotionally involved in that.
And it felt like every time I watched, they would lose. If I didn't watch, they would win. Sure enough, I'm going to get home, watch the game, and sure enough, 2.5 hours later, boom, they lose. I'm like, I just wasted my whole freaking night.
Right. The thing is, I mean, I'm totally down with like rooting for the underdogs and stuff, but if you haven't been winning consistently, then I'm not going to know to root for you or to be on your side. So that's just gonna like surprise me.
Yeah, well, that's why teams that win, they attract new fans. Because then you get these young kids and then their local teams winning, and all of a sudden, that's people want to root for a winning team. Nobody wants to root for a losing team.
I know. I'm that person. Maybe there's two types of fans. Maybe there's fans that, have the patience to deal with the underdog. And then there's, the fans like me who are fair weather and are only going to root for the people that win because it makes you feel good. It's like, yay, my team won, yours didn't.
But like he said, like the caller said, when an underdog wins, it's unlike anything else because the better teams are expected to win. But when that one team who just somehow squeaked in the playoffs and all of a sudden, little by little, they just grow as a team, and then they take out these monsters of a team. That's historical there.
Here's who I love. I love the New York Giants. Like I love them because they have so much heart. Remember the 2008 Super Bowl when they beat the Patriots? I was like, this is what's up. This is why. That was one of the best games ever. Because they were the underdog, and the Patriots, they seem to win every single Super Bowl for some reason, because they're cheating. But do you hear about that deflating thing or whatever?
Deflategate?
They're cheating.
Yeah.
That explains it all. That's why
cheated.
they're always winning.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. So, that's why I love the New York Giants. They have heart. Take down the Patriots that one time, even when they were cheating. What? I love the Giants. I'm a Giants fan. But anyway, I don't even do football like that because it's too aggressive. I sometimes do baseball, but it's too slow. Then sometimes do basketball, but it's too aggressive. We gotta have that sport that's in between, like tennis or something. I don't know. What's in between? Nothing. Like, it's either too aggressive or it's too slow. Golf is way too slow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't mess with golf. Like, I'll play it just to get a suntan, but I'm not gonna take it seriously. But anyway, let me go back to my my little article here. As soon as I figure out what the heck I was talking about.
You know what? I was just trying to for the last minute. I was trying to figure out what we were talking about, and I can't. So.
We were talking about millennials still living at home.
Okay. Gotcha.
Like a bunch of young bums.
Doing what you love and not finding a job for it.
Yeah, it's depressing. Because, it's almost to the point where, you can't do what you love. Or if you do, you really have to be the best at it. And if you're not the best at it, you have to pretend that you're the best at it.
Shouldn't you always have a backup plan? You should always, putting your eggs in one basket.
No. Because if once you start having a plan B, then that takes away from your plan A. So no. Once people start, deterring from, what they really want to do, and they start having a plan B, that does something to your mentality where that plan A is just, it just seems like something, it could happen, it can't happen, when, you have to be gung-ho, you have to make it happen. I remember this story, if you're not familiar with Kenneth Cole, he's a New York City fashion designer, and he started actually selling shoes out of a truck. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
You know what Kenneth Cole is?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, so that's why the full name of his company is Kenneth Cole Productions, KCP. That's the full name of his company, because he had to get a permit in New York City to sell shoes from one of those production trailers, just to make it happen. So he had to pretend that he was filming a movie. That's why his the name of his company is on the stock market is KCP, Kenneth Cole Productions. So he, you got to sometimes bend the rules to make something happen. But the point is to make it happen and not have that plan B. So that plan A has to be your thing.
Yeah, and if you're gonna choose, if your plan A is something in the entertainment business, I'm gonna just tell you, please have a plan B.
Oh, really? Why you say that?
Because it's the facts. You know how many people I see every week. All these young kids come in here who trying to be rappers and artists and stuff like that.
But here's the difference. I think there was someone who came in here a few weeks ago. I'm not going to mention who because I don't even remember the name. But anyway, but he said that he was going to give the rap thing a year. And then, if it doesn't come to fruition in a year, he's going to try something else. So my thing is a year, that's such a short period of time, for something like that. If it doesn't happen a year, I'm going to try something else. I don't know. It just maybe, you're right about the whole, that kind of career in showbiz or whatever.
It's just not, it's not easy. You're talking about a fraction of the people who make it.
Right.
You know, you're probably talking about 1 in every 1,000 people. I mean, it's not like, you know, where, oh yeah, you'll end up getting a job somewhere. It's like you may not ever get a job. You know, you may be just doing the small things for the rest of your life, you know. But you're right, though. I mean, you know, look at Harrison Ford. The guy was waiting tables. He was almost 40 years old. Look at him now.
Is that his story?
Yeah, he was almost 40 years old. I think he was 39 years old. He was waiting tables, trying to be
so
an
how old
actor.
was he when he became Han Solo?
That's what I'm saying. That was his first movie, I think.
Oh, really?
That was what he was picked for.
Oh, you gotta love George Lucas.
Yeah, he was up there. He was not a young guy.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering that. I was like, yo, how old is Han Solo in the first Star Wars? Because he didn't look young.
No. Well, he looked a little young for his age, but he was almost 40. I think he was 38 years old, and he was playing a younger guy, but he was up there, you know.
Right.
But, you know, if he would have gave it up, you know, would have never done anything.
Right.
See, the weird thing about, you know, the entertainment business is you never know when your break is going to be. You know, you can't predict it. You can say you could do the best product in the world, whatever you're doing. It's a lot about being in the right place at the right time, knowing the right people. And, you know, a lot of people give up and you never know. I mean, 6 months later could have been their big break. It's tough. It is tough. The entertainment business is tough, whatever you're going to be.
And the only reason it's tough is because everyone wants to do it.
Everybody wants to do it, yeah.
Now, not me, someone I know, came across this person who didn't want like a regular job because she wanted to pursue acting. And that was what she was going to do. She was going to pursue acting, even though she had degrees, she had experience and everything. And she's like, I'm going to be an actress. And I mean, what do you say to someone like that? You can't be negative. You know, this is what they want to do. So you kind of have to, you know, say something nice. Be like, oh yeah, that's great. You know, there's a lot of opportunities like that in New York City. You know, you could be on Broadway. You could be one of the lions on Lion King, right?
Yeah.
Right?
You could be anything. I mean, there's a lot of stuff
right?
that you could do.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely. No, there's a lot of work for actors. You know, the thing is, a lot of people think like in order to be an actor, you have to be like A-list, Leonardo DiCaprio, movie star, walking the red carpet. But you could be like a working actor and be just like on stage and stuff and doing local plays. You know, that's still acting. I mean, if that's your passion and that makes you happy, like, what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
You know, in every profession, there is a, room to be a celebrity. You know, like we have celebrity chefs. We have celebrity real estate brokers, you know, and they have their own TV shows. So every profession has, you know, that celebrity aspect to it. Yeah. You know, and acting just happens to be one of the more popular ones because, you know, we watch them for entertainment. So I don't ever shoot down anybody's dreams.
No, you can never do that. You can never shoot down anybody's dream. All you can do them is, you know, you tell them just to be prepared for everything.
Be prepared for the no. But that's with anything, you know, anything you're going to get a no. I've gotten a lot of no's. A lot, you know. And that means it just wasn't for you. Keep it moving, right? Anyway. All right. So this article, you know, a lot of people live at home. I know I've kind of strayed away from it. A lot of my people, my generation lives at home. You know, especially if you live in New York City where it's a little bit more expensive, and you know, maybe you majored in philosophy. You know, maybe you are living at home. Maybe you're one of these people who, you know, have given up on looking for a job. Because here's one of the statistics that it says. Ooh, this is bad. Have you ever heard of Obamanomics?
No, I haven't.
All right, it must be some weird thing that whoever wrote this made up. It says, given the weak job opportunities facing young adults living at home was part of the private safety net. Ugh, that's so depressing. I wouldn't want to live at home. It'd drive me nuts. It'd drive me nuts, but so many people do it, you know, because, you know, they pick these majors. And what I've noticed, especially with the millennial generation, is a lot of times, like I mentioned earlier, we pick and we study what we love, and we kind of stray away from the skilled labor stuff, that involves your hands. We don't want to use our hands. We don't want to get dirty. But a lot of times, the careers, maybe in the Midwest, the careers are better for using your hands. The Midwest is huge for manufacturing, right?
Not anymore.
What do you mean not anymore?
What? All the factories are gone. Everyone.
There's still factories there, but you have to know math and science.
There's not much. There's people who are out of.
I mean, it's not like how it was back in the day, where it's like a Ford assembly line.
Listen, everything we buy now is literally from China, and that years ago we used to make all that stuff ourselves here, but we don't make it anymore. We can't compete. So a lot of these factory jobs are just not there anymore.
No, they're there.
They're there. Yeah, okay.
They're there.
If you say so.
Maybe not in the simple way that they were before, but they're there. They're just a little bit more complicated. Like maybe you have to know like how to program, the machine and stuff like that.
But you're just saying that now it's all robots and programming. There's no people in the factories
someone has
anymore.
to be there to program it.
Yeah, one person that does 100 jobs. Do you know that the Cheer plant, the washing detergent, do you know that whole factory is run by robots 24 hours a day? There's like 10 employees that run the whole Cheer factory.
Washing detergent, like Tide?
Yeah. I watched
about?
a whole show on it. All robots. They work 24 hours a day, and there's like 10 guys who just make sure the robots are running correctly. That plant used to employ hundreds and hundreds of employees.
Oh, yeah, that's dope.
So, this is what happened with technology. So, as far as people using their hands and putting things together, that shit doesn't happen here anymore, because you have people in China and Indonesia and Vietnam that are doing it for pennies, that are even slave labor. They're doing it.
What about people who make little medical devices?
Little medical devices?
Yes.
Like what?
Like, like medical tools.
I don't think people are making them. They're being stamped out in the metals and molds and stuff like
people
that.
People are making them.
I don't know. We'll have to look into it.
There's still manufacturing available.
Little medical instruments.
Yes.
For little animals, or like
no,
just
for medical facilities. Someone's gotta like program the machines.
Yeah,
I'm a machinist.
We'll have to check it out.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, maybe there's like not an abundant of jobs, but the career is still there, and it's in the Midwest.
It's not like it used to be. That's all.
It's not.
Manufacturing is not where it used to be.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It is.
Anyway, all right. So what did we talk about today? We talked about how relationships going well, how your friend zone. We talked again about Groupons on dates, how to keep relationship healthy. We got into my little celebrity gossip. And then, we talked about underdogs. I mentioned how much I love Zendaya. And, we talked about, how the economy is definitely changing. So, this is Katherine signing out. Simply Real. I want to thank you for tuning in and listening to me rant on my own. And you have a good night.
Peace.